You know, I experienced a lot of emotions while watching Ratchet and Clank tonight. I experienced sadness. I experienced a little bit of happiness. I experienced a lot of remorse and a lot of pain because the movie's terrible. So straight up, and yeah, I understand the video is a little different format than before, but what are you gonna do about it? You know what? So what? Anyway, first things first. Yes, I know. Episode what is it? What 3 of our weekly show has not gone up yet. I understand. It's been a while. Been a crazy week. We have exams, we have school, we have work, all kinds of stuff going on. I'm working on it, and it's going to be out eventually. Another thing, speaking of weekly show, I just want to say that we are going to switch to a bi-weekly schedule because Bryant doesn't actually live here in Troy yet. He's going to later in the summer. So, and I think that's like early to mid-July. So before then, or until then, I should say, we are going to switch to a bi-weekly schedule with the weekly shows. So there is a delay in episode 3, and it's going to be out very soon. But after that, it's going to go bi-weekly. So keep that in mind. Anyway, so let's get into Ratchet and Clank. For those of you who don't know, Ratchet and Clank is very close to my childhood. I played the original games on PS2, loved them. I played the PS3 ones. I've played almost every one of them, and I love them. It is a classic series for me. So I've been excited to see this movie since it was announced, like what, 3 years ago? I think I think I was in high school when this movie was announced. So it was about 3-4 years ago, and I've been super excited to see it. And I knew going into it that it was going to be terrible, and of course it was terrible. But it wasn't terrible in the sense that it was like poorly made or not funny. Well, it wasn't funny at all, and it wasn't charming. It didn't have any of the charm, any of the just interest that the original games had. It had nothing that the games, became popular for. It was literally made for the youngest audience possible. This movie was made for kids that have never played Ratchet and Clank. And the game that came out recently, which is fantastic, by the way. Sorry, I keep shifting my hands around with the camera. This is a very different style of video because I don't feel like sitting down and editing a whole bunch of stuff, so I'm just filming it guerrilla style, and I'm just going to upload it straight from my phone. But, what can you do, right? Anyway, so movie sucked. Wasn't good, wasn't fun, wasn't entertaining, even in the slightest. I think I almost dozed off like 6 or 7 times. It was pretty ridiculous. And that's not because I had a long day. It's because the movie is just so boring. And it's sad because there's so much potential in a Ratchet and Clank movie. Come on now. Its visual style is wonderful. It has characters that are fun to watch and lovable in every sense of the word. But this movie made them the most boring things possible. There is no character development whatsoever. There are moments in the movie where it seems like the writers thought that this is where there would be some emotional connection, but there isn't. Nothing, not even a shred of it. It is awful. It's super terrible. The voice acting was okay at times, and the animation was okay, I guess. And there are some parts in here where it actually shows some bright spots. It actually shows like, oh man, okay, this movie could have been good. That's a good scene, especially the final scene of the movie. And some of the last like 20 minutes wasn't that bad. It was actually kind of cool, and it was good. And it's like, it makes it worse because the movie, the whole thing could have been like this. The whole 90 minutes could have been like that. And they weren't. It was terrible. It's awful. I hate the movie. I really do. And that sucks because I love Ratchet and Clank. This is bad. It's bad. And there was fan service, but it didn't do anything to fix this wreck of a movie. So don't go see it. It is I can tell you right now, it's already going to be a financial bomb. I was the only one in my theater seeing it. And this is opening night. No one was going to see this. So just don't. It's a bad movie. It's a really bad movie, and I'm disappointed, and I'm mad at myself because I got my hopes up. I actually thought that this was going to be a good one, and it turned out to be exactly what my original impression was, is that this thing's going to suck, and it did. So don't see Ratchet and Clank. It's bad in almost every sense of the word, but not just that, it's just boring. It's straight up boring. This movie appeals to nothing but kids who are like 3 and younger who just want to see flashing lights appear on the movie screen. So there you go. I've said my piece about it. I'm done. Maybe I'll talk about it in one of the next episodes. Remember, going to bi-weekly schedule. Maybe we'll talk about it there, but I'm not giving it a score because we don't do scores anymore. It's just bad. It's a bad movie. Should you see it? Absolutely not. Don't go see it. Anyway, guys, I don't know what next movie I'm going to see. So, when I see a movie, I'll do another review however I feel like doing it. So, catch you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to watch episode 3 whenever it goes up. And bye-bye.